Hello, everyone, and welcome to the final episode of the R50 Marathon. Today, we are taking a look at the 20th, the final, and the best album, Clockwork Angels. Now, I don't know if anyone knows this, but this does happen to be my favorite album of all time. So, with that being said, this list is correct. As the world expert on this album, what I say is final. There are no arguments. This is the way it is. Look, I'm not going to get into it if you don't know, because I already have like two or three videos talking about this album already. And here's another one. But for the first time, we are actually going to talk about each and every song. And wow. Oh boy. Today's the day I have to rank every song off my favorite album. You know how hard that is? You know how difficult it is putting those songs in order? I want you to do it. You take your favorite album of all time and you list them worst to best. I want to see you do it because this shit was crazy. But anyway, here we are. Let's get into it one final time. In last place, we are going to have the obvious, BU2B 2, the sequel. It's really just here for concept purposes. It's 90 seconds, just a little bit of spoken word, kind of vocals, kind of sung, with some strings, and that's it. You know, we can live without it. I'm not going to lose sleep over it, but, you know, fine. It can be there. Doesn't matter. Next up, we are going to have Halo Effect. Now, I know it's not exactly an interlude track, but I always kind of viewed it as one. You know, besides BU2B2, it's the shortest song on the record. It's only 3 minutes, as opposed to everything being at least like 4 or 5. And it always just passes by. Like, the solo, I like the melody of it. I mean, it's not really even a solo. It's more of a lead section. But yeah. Other than that, there is not much else to the song. You know, these two I can definitely live without. But, you know, it is very fine and dandy. You know, story-wise, this is the love song, I suppose. Or, like, the end of love, because the character is, like, forcing himself to believe that he has feelings for this young lady. But yeah, it's pretty cool. Okay, now for the first actual song. This is where shit goes down, okay? Up next, we're going to have Carnies. Yeah, it does pain me to put this song at number 10, although it does mean it's the top 10 Clockwork Angel songs. Number 10 is Carnies. And yo, man, that intro riff, holy shit. I'm pretty sure this is the only pitch harmonic in Rush, and that's pretty cool. Like, I can't think of a single other riff that uses a pitch harmonic. But then we get this one, so it's very cool. It's very cool. The thing that holds it back, though, is, and the reason it's at number 10, is I'm really not crazy about the drum part that Neil plays under that riff. I don't know about hitting the toms constantly in this part. That never really connected well with me. I don't know what I would have done differently, but I don't think I would have done that. Wish there was a little something different there. Yeah, chorus is pretty solid. Not my favorite, but it's pretty solid. The bridge riff kicks ass. The fucking tom thing going on. Nice and heavy. At certain points, I'm just going to give random lyrics that I always really liked. And this one we have, sometimes the angels punish us by answering our prayers. You know what? That's why I really like Working Them Angels, because it's like a precursor to this album. You know, Angels is in the title and everything. So I think that's why that was number 1 in Snakes and Arrows. Not only is it really good, but it reminds me of this album. So anything Angels related with Rush, fucking the best. Absolutely the best. But yeah, wow, we just spent that long talking about Carnies. And it's only number 10. This is going to be the longest video in this series, and deservingly so, okay? Because if you should see, like, the notes compared to every other album. Most of these albums have, like, one sentence. I literally have, like, paragraphs for some of these songs, okay? I have a lot to say about Clockwork Angels, obviously. So, yeah, Carnies, love the song, but there are some parts in it that I don't love. So, number 10. And then number 9, we're going to have The Anarchist. And instrumentally, I think this is definitely the most fun one. It just, from that Tom intro to the chords, fucking awesome. And you get the main riff, and then you get the breaks in the verses where it's just the guitar chords, and then you get like the bass and splash fills. Kind of like, I think that was Bastille Day that did that thing, or Cygnus. I think they do that a lot, actually. And this one is just as good as all the other ones. It's pretty good. And it just moves in a lot of different ways. By the time the vocals comes in, it's like 3 or 4 different sections, and they're all pretty cool. The thing that holds this one back is the part where the strings come in, and it does the tom thing, and you hear like the vocal effect thing that sounds like he's, talking in like a megaphone or something. I'm not a big fan of that part. I don't really like what the strings are doing. Surprisingly, I love my strings, which, again, number 1 album of all time. It has strings. Unfortunately, half the time they're doing some weird shit. That and the fact that the verse, like the lyrics just repeat. It's just the same thing for verse 1 and 2. That's not really cool. It just kind of like pads the song out and just makes it longer than it even needs to be. It's like you sung it once, you don't need to sing it again. Choruses are one thing, but verses should not be repeated. And then you get the solo, which absolutely kicks ass as well. So, yeah. Still a very good song, just a couple parts I'm not crazy about. Moving along, we get 7 Cities of Gold. And this one, actually, surprisingly, besides the last 2, I have the least amount to say about it. Because, I don't know, it's just a solid song. Like, if I was going to lump any of these songs into just it's solid but not a lot to say about it category, this would be it. It's a very fun riff in the verses. And, like, that's really the main part. It does that for most of the song. And it's good, but it isn't, mind-blowing. Chorus is good, but it's really all about that main riff that is just like one of the best on the record. And you don't get sick of listening to it all the time. And then we get a cool little bridge where Alex kind of goes, he wanks for a bit before they bring it back in. And yeah, it's a very solid song, but on an album with incredible songs, solid doesn't get you to the top 5 or whatever. So yeah. Up next, we're going to have Wish Them Well. Now this is a lot more straightforward. This is the most straightforward song on the whole album. I just like the verses and the choruses and everything. It's a ba 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 da ba da ba. It's like that the whole time. I like the lyrics. Although, it's a good lesson to teach, like lyrically, and honestly, I could learn a few things from it because it's all about, not interacting with people, just being a pain in the ass, which I can't help. If I see a shitbag, I can't just, what does he say? Thank your stars, you're not like them, turn your back and walk away. I can't do it, man. I have to yell at them back because if you're being a dipshit, you got to know you're being a dipshit, But, yeah, sorry, Neil. I appreciate what you're saying, but I can't not be like them, okay? But yeah, man, it's a pretty good song. It's not exactly, I think it's definitely one of the most least popular, but I don't think that's right because it's pretty good. And the bridge is very cool. There's a pretty gnarly guitar part in the bridge, and it's just a great song. It's a great song on a great album. And like you said, you have to be only the best of the best get to be on top. And about the halfway point, we are going to have the wreckers. Man, okay, yeah, this is the cutoff point, okay? Everything under is like, I like it, it's good, or like, it's good. It's a very good songs. This is where all these songs are goddamn flawless, and the reason this is my number one favorite album of all time. Because fucking shit, I love this song. Apparently the story goes that this is the song that Geddy and Alex actually swapped instruments. And that's pretty cool, that the fact they came up with this song, because Geddy's pretty damn good at guitar, I must say. Just like the intro chords, man. Just love the way this song starts, bro. Break a roar on the unseen shore. Look, this is why I'm not a performing artist, okay? Look, what do you want from me? But yes, I do really like... I think they wrote each other's like parts, or I don't know. I don't think they recorded, I don't think Geddy actually recorded the guitar and Alex did the bass. But basically, everything Alex does on this track, whoever wrote it, whichever one of them, is amazing. The guitars are so beautifully written in this song, and lyrically it's fantastic too. You get the chill verses, just kind of telling the tragedy of what's going on in the story, and then you get the strings leading into the chorus, like they go high and everything, and they just like soar into the chorus and all that jazz. And then you get the goated ass bridge. The bridge is like one of my favorite parts of this whole album. You get that high lingering string that like carries a lot of it, and then you get that ominous guitar part, the chords, or like not the chords, but like the single notes, and that you can just picture this like scene happening in your head with everything going to shit and like the ships being destroyed and everything. Washed away in the pounding waves. It just actually sounds like waves are being like crushed down onto this thing. Yeah, man. Washed away in the pounding waves. This is a fantastic song. It's a fantastic song. It's like I'm doubting myself now, because like this probably should be at least one higher. But the album is just full of too damn good songs, too many good songs. Okay. It's a fantastic song. Next up, number 5, we're going to have the opener Caravan, and just good ass riff, pretty awesome. And the song, it's all about like this big moving ship, caravan, or like this like fortress thing moving, something's moving, okay? And the whole song just feels like it's chugging right along with that riff. You're just like, it's like driving along. Yeah, like I said, the big ass chords in the verse. Yeah, the halftime chorus. Then you get like after the chorus, the solo break with the bass kind of shredding, and the first solo comes in. So super great. The tom part in between the chorus, and he goes up the toms. I love the instrumental break in this song. It's so damn good. In a world where I feel so small, I can't stop thinking big. Man, haven't we all been there, I can't, it's a big planet full of a lot of things, and you're just like, man, one day I'm going to be on top. I'm going to be up there. And like that's what this song reminds me of. And yeah, Honestly, it's like, do I like this one or Wreckers more? I don't really know, but shit, man, they're both really good. Okay, whatever, man, whatever. We'll keep it at number 5 because we're already here, you know. Okay, next up, we're going to have the title track, Clockwork Angels. And dude, the contrast between the first part of the verse and the second part of the verse are just fantastic. It starts, the first part is like super whimsical with these single guitar notes, you know, the single guitar notes, and he's riding on the hi-hat the whole time, and then it breaks off with like the chords, and you hear like the stick clicks, and then it just like goes double time, and it starts chugging along this with the second half of the verse. Super cool. And then and then you get the lead up into the chorus with the even more chords and the tom, that whole shit, and then it goes to the chorus. Clockwork angels flip their arms and sing. That's all great. You know, once again, beautifully painting this picture of like a bunch of people. I always imagine like a bunch of people like, you know, doing this like in a crowd or something, and they're looking up in the sky and they see like the angels, like literal or metaphorical, whatever you want to decide, flying above them. The people raise their hands as if to fly. And then like when he actually says that, as if to fly, and then it comes back into the verse. It actually sounds like you're actually soaring above everyone else. Like the main character is just like above, actually flying, because just the way the first half of the verse, like leading from chorus 1 to verse 2, it's like up above here, and then once again the stick click and it breaks down, and it's like you just like drop down and you're like fucking, you know, like you're not flying anymore. And it's by the time you get to the ending of the song, once again, where he's like, as if to fly, and then it just drops hard, as if like your wings have been denied and you're no longer flying, and you're falling, crashing down to the ground because you were denied. Kind of like Wood, you know? Or not Wood. What the hell Alice in Chains song is that? I like to fly, but my wings have been so denied. I forget what song that is, but it reminds me of this. Yeah. It's very good. Son of a bitch. Okay. All right. Moving it to number 3, we're going to have Headlong Flight. Now, this is like the big kahuna burger of the album. A lot happens. A lot happens in this song. You know, I'm not going to sit here and mouth all the riffs and every section because it'll be here. This video will be twice as long if I did. But yeah, all the riffs, all the sections, just everything just feels so right. You know, lyrically, it's like a song about looking back and saying, damn, I had a good ride. You know, not like I'm there yet. You know, I'm not quite there ready to say that yet. But, you know, yeah, it's a song about reflection and just being appreciative of all the things you have been through, for better or worse. And then, you know, the middle of the song, we get one last time Neil going crazy ham, just big snare things, all that jazz. And then you get that weird vocal thing, which you can't, or right before, you can't even hear what the hell he's saying. Just more weird vocal effects. And then right after the Neil thing, we get one last time Alex going ham, because the solo in this song is crazy. The cymbal chokes in this song just go like so hard. You know, it just keeps like driving along until you get the last chorus. You know, leading up into like the final, like I said, with the hi-hat or the cymbal chokes and the big fills, and then it just like breaks out into like another chorus, which I don't really think you needed that last chorus, to be honest. It should have just ended really hard right before that came in. But it's fine, because very similar, actually, kind of to 7 Cities of Gold, where I don't have a lot to say about it, but like, it's just because it's just so jam full of all, like, I'm not going to sit here and digest every single riff by riff and say, yeah, that's cool, because they're all cool. So enough said. Headlong Flight. God, it's such a good song, man. But that leads us into number 2. Oh God. Okay. It's going to be BU2B. Number one, the first one. We talked about the second one already. Man, just talk about an everything song. From that acoustic intro and those like distant sounding vocals, you know, basically just like it's like the whole motto of the song. As you start there, and then it hits that one last chord, and it's it just comes in so hard. It comes in so damn hard. Big ass heavy verses. And then you get the beautifully written and sung choruses, man. Oh man. I can This is one of the best lyrically Rush songs. I could sit here and list off every single line off this song. Blind men in the market buying what we're sold, buying what they're sold. Believe in what we're told until our final breath, while our loving watchmaker loves us all to death. It's so good, dude. Oh my god. And then the bridge comes in and it's like sounds like super hopeful. I don't know if it's the key it's in or something, but like it goes higher. Yeah, it goes higher up, and it just sounds like super hopeful and happy, like you're at peace. And the vocals come back in. The joy and pain that we receive must be what we deserve. I was brought up to believe. Oh man, yeah, like I said, the lyrics are just so good. And even after all those good lyrics, I always love the part. I think it's verse 2. Where it's like, in a world where all must fail, heaven's justice will prevail. And then you get the China thing, like the halftime feel. Like I was, re-listening to the album. It was like I couldn't even write everything down because I was too busy singing along the entire song, the whole track, man. I love the lyrics to this song. Yeah, I love the lyrics to this. This is definitely the biggest highlight of the song, which is saying a lot because I fucking love everything else of the song, all the riffs, it just everything. Every single goddamn piece of this song is fucking perfect. And despite all of that, for a long time, like for most of the time, this was my favorite song on the album. Because like I said, it's just everything is perfect. But I couldn't help, just like once Rush was like officially done, like when Neil left, I couldn't like help but move this next song into number 1 spot because it's just perfect. We are of course talking about The Garden. I've been waiting a long time for this. You know, back when we talked about Signals, right? Wow, we won't talk about my favorite Rush song. That'll be the last song we talk about in this series is my favorite Rush song. And here we are. We're talking about The Garden. Oh, fuck. I already have chills. I have chills already just thinking about this fucking song. That's how you know you have something good. When even just the thought of it. Where do I start with this song? Okay. It is absolutely flawless. The bass intro with those strings, the acoustics with the vocals, and the way the song keeps growing. All the strings, the piano, the solo, everything is just working in unison to create this absolutely masterpiece of a track. Yeah, I said it. Masterpiece. You know, goddamn Genesis is Firth of Fifth is probably the best song I ever heard in my life. But I don't know. That's tough. That's tough because this song is also one of the best songs I ever heard in my life. And it's mostly all about the lyrics and vocal delivery. It's an actual tearjerker, man. The future disappears into memory with only a moment between. It's like you think about that and it's like haunting. When I hear that line, I think about the dash on a tombstone, you know? Like, that was the moment between where it is a long time. Like, life is a long time, hopefully. And like you think about the beginning and the end the most, how it started and how it ends. And then there's just so much that happens in the middle that just like, it just like goes over your head. Like he says, it just disappears into memory because there's so much and you can't remember it all. So it just like, you just forget about it. And I think it's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. And the last 2 minutes of this song, man, really hammering this message of a garden to nurture and protect, like nothing else matters but your garden. You keep saying it over and over again. I didn't talk about most of the song just because it's like, what do I even have to say about it? Just all the melodies are just so good. And just the way he sings the verse, it's just like, he's at ease. You know, it's the end of the story. Well, I mean, they did write more. I mean, the Clockwork, like the book series, I mean, there's 3 of them, and this is just the first one. So, God, I gotta read those. What the hell is wrong with me? Anyway, but yeah, just the ending of this song, man. Yeah, just all the instruments, the pianos, the strings, the guitars, just everything. Everything just like crescendoing in this big moment until those final notes, bum, 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 and then it fades out. And suddenly it's over. You're left sitting there in silence as one of the greatest musical acts has just ended. And that's the way it ended. And it couldn't be more perfect. The Garden will go down as perhaps the single greatest final band song of all time. I don't have anything else to say. I think I've said enough. And that's not only going to do it for Clockwork Angels, but for this marathon. It's over. Thank you, everyone who has tuned in to this 2.5 month journey. And a very, very special shout out to Young Nasty Man and Joel Lappy. You two have commented on damn near every single one of these videos, and I appreciate it. It's been a long time, and man, this is... Every time I talk about this album, I just, like, I can't even, like, function properly. Yeah, man. Yeah, like I said, thank you all for checking out this very long marathon. We will do... And I will do an updated Rush ranking, but it's going to be tier list this time just to change it up a little bit and not just do, 20 to 1. There are some changes. There are definitely some albums that have flipped around a lot. Some have gone higher, some have gone lower. So it's time we update that video. But I'll see you in a few days with that one. There's nothing to lead into the next song or the next video because this is the last one. So I'll just say adios.